So in terms of, kind of touch up on a couple points about the company Wells Fargo. I know you have mixed feelings about, Wells Fargo and the company itself, as I watched the comments on Facebook. And I'll tell you this, just like I told my team members before I left. uh, if you work hard, if you develop yourself, if you stay positive, if you help others, you will go far. You have to have the right attitude. You have to have a positive attitude. I understand there's some things that are beyond your control, uh, but if nobody likes negative people, so if you were to do those things that I mentioned to you, you will go far. You have to work hard and you have to put your best effort, and yet be positive no matter what things come your way beyond your control. If you make a mistake, own it, acknowledge it, fix it, and make it right. And of course, try to avoid it the next time. Don't make the same mistake again. It's okay to make a different mistake, not on purpose, but accidentally. Mistakes do happen. But if you fix that mistake, if you acknowledge it, if you own it, and if you fix it, work on it, and avoid it in the future, you will go far. I worked 10 years at Wells Fargo. I held different positions in this financial institution. Wells Fargo helped me pay for my MBA classes, which I'm very extremely proud of, that Wells Fargo does that. And Wells Fargo gave me the opportunity to grow within the company in those 10 years. I reached all the way to the a management position, and I was able to grow as a person without having any type of financial experience or any experience in the corporate world, including even management position. I had the bachelor degree in four different fields. None of those fields were in a financial industry. And by working at Wells Fargo, not only that I was able to get through my MBA classes, but I also gained so much leadership experience that allowed me to grow as a person. And that's probably one of the hardest part to leave the company and leave that experience, simply because I'm not going to practice those skills at this point by supervising Mila, so to speak. But the experience that I gained will stay with me for years to come, and that's huge. I also would like to share an experience with you in terms of speaking to the camera. If you think that it's easy for me to go ahead and stay here and share with you stories, well, it is so much easier now in comparison to where I was when I first came to the United States. I was a shy kid for various reasons. Lack of English, lack of confidence, not knowing people, heavy accent that people are going to judge me based on my accent, even though I still have the accent, but I'm not shy of it anymore, because I built that confidence and I'm confident in myself and the things that I say and the things that I do, and I can back them up. And that's what makes it easier to communicate now. Plus, I also have obviously a degree in journalism and mass communication, where I had to interview people, I had to write articles. So that kind of builds with the experience. But I would like to share the experience with you when I first had the encounter communicating on camera. That was back in the 9th grade at Valley Southwoods here in West Des Moines. I took ESL classes, English as a Second Language classes, or English Language Learner. I can't remember, it has been renamed, but ESL, English as a Second Language. And we had two instructors, Gary or Mr. Geringer and Mrs. Wisman. Great people, great instructors, learned a lot from them. And one of the lessons was to stand in front of the camera and give a little speech. 5-minute speech, I can't remember, I think 5-minute speech, but to build that confidence standing in front of the camera. Perhaps they knew that I'm going to be a star, a YouTube star, that, you know, I had to start somewhere, I had to take those baby steps, and that's where they stuck in, they brought in the camera and put the camera in my face, and I had to present that speech. I was shocked, I was nervous, it was a nerve-wracking experience, I forgot my speech, you know, I started sweating, but that was truly a huge experience. I think when you're afraid of something, the only way you can conquer it is if you tackle it, if you try it, even if you're not going to succeed at the first time, but you build that experience, you build that confidence, and it makes so much easier. You know, even dancers, you know, being myself, being a dancer, even though I know the choreography, even I have the expertise in dancing, I have the training, I have the technique, I have the skill, I know the music, I practice it many times, and every time I had to go on stage, I had that stage fear, and it has been it has been building and it's been becoming easier and easier to dance when you know those skills, you know, the music and so forth. Once you practice it numerous times, but you still have that fear. I think most dancers probably have that fear to make a mistake. But the thing is, I know the choreography, and if I make mistake, I am the only person who is going to know that I actually made that mistake. Probably maybe the choreographer and the ballet master, you know, who in charge, the ballet director. They'll probably know that I made mistake, but the audience is not going to know that I made mistake. And if I show it, if I show that I make mistake, then the audience will also know that I made the mistake. But if I make the mistake and move on, kind of cover it up somehow, even if I fall and stand up and just go right at it and finish strong, that's what matters. And I think in life it's the same thing. Even if we make mistake, we know that we made a mistake, and maybe somebody else noticed it, but how did you go about fixing that mistake? Did you fix it? Did you learn from it? Did you stand up and finish strong? Did you finish what you originally intended to do? And I think that's a life lesson. I think that's a life lesson. So that kind of going back to standing in front of the camera, I just lost some light, but standing in front of the camera, I think that was a life-changing experience for me, and a life lesson as well, how to take those baby steps, to stand in front of the camera, be confident about myself, and even at Wells Fargo, kind of going back to the company I worked for, I had the opportunity to present in front of the camera as well for various projects, including advertisement for Wells Fargo as well. You know, we had a couple of times the HR contacted me that the Wells Fargo TV team is coming from San Francisco and they need some people to videotape. So I talked about diversity as well, and what it means to be a hero. I was selected once for the trip to you know, for the work that I've gone. But the thing is that you know, the experience that I had at Valley Southwoods, I still remember to this day, in the 9th grade, allowed me to build that confidence and get that experience to further later in life to present myself, even now in front of the camera, to present myself with confidence and quality. And you know, I hope you continue to watch the videos, and I hope you continue to subscribe as well, like and share, and I promise you I'll share more experiences with you, more life-changing tricks that I'm personally proud of, and And of course, share your comments as well. Share your stories, whether it's how to raise a child, how to raise a baby, or even share your life experiences as well. How to be successful.